I feel good today. What's up, universe? This is your sports and sports betting brand of record. We like to call it Driving the Line. We're here every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I am your conductor, the coach. And I got to tell you, a lot of housekeeping we got to take care of. But before we do that, we got to show you what we did yesterday. And thank goodness for Howie Schwab, because the rest of us, not that great. Thunder pounded at home. Bucks pounded on the road. What was I thinking? But I did hit my crew exclusive play. But Howie goes 4-3. AB nails one. Charles, VAR is not our friend, or that would have looked completely different. So not our best day, but not our worst day either. Now, if you haven't watched DTL Golf yet, we recorded it yesterday. It's live in your feed right here on this channel. I encourage you, three of the greatest minds, RD, Steve Scott, and also Fast Eddie. And we're going to have a ton of picks on the show today from the biggest event on the PGA Tour calendar, the Players Championship. Also, if you haven't got your merchandise yet, we are working as we speak on an I Howie's Homie t-shirt. So we got the link in our bios for that as well. But as always, let's bring in my partner, my five-tool player. And it's the middle of the week, so this man always have a big old fat smile on his face. AB, good morning to you, my good sir.
Sorry, I had myself on mute there. Look, fantastic, Coach. Right out of the gate, we have to address something, if you don't mind.
Please.
So, you know that we have banned Stanford baseball forever on this show?
Yes.
Us, all of us, you, myself, Raphael, Charles, producer man, the crew, everyone together need to have today a La Cosa Nostra Mafia sit down and decide, what the hell do we do with Florida baseball? They're teetering on banned, or we're going to give you another shot. So everyone in the chat, make your decision. Tell me what you think. There we go. See, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
They let us down, man. We hit, we split parlays, and then Florida.
Do they not understand? Do they not understand the world they live in here at DTL? Do they not get that?
They're
do
about
they want to be a part of that?
They're about to. And I'll tell you what, Wake Forest is about to as well. Yeah, right there. They're on thin ice, son.
Right.
You are cruising for a bruising. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
The chat has spoken. I think Raphael will probably, there you go. Ban equals fate. I knew he'd be in the chat. You have any questions for us? Throw them into the chat. We will answer them for you in real time. Now, not only do we need to have a bounce back, AB, but the crew needs to have a bounce back, because Gonzaga got bounced big time last night by St. Mary's. So today, as championship week really gets going, all the Power Fives are getting going today. What do we got?
We have four great options, as you said, in championship week here. Kansas getting points plus 2.5. Texas minus 4.5. Washington against USC getting points plus 3.5. And then TCU against Oklahoma minus 3.5. So those four options are in the poll, in the chat. Vote now, and we will update, as we always do, at the end of the show. And Keenan Pat, welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family. If you are not a crew member yet, we encourage you to do so. We have exclusive content there all the time, every single day, an extra episode. It's a few minutes, but also right now, and there you go. Just go to our YouTube page. You're on it right now. There's a join button, and you get the best of Howie Schwab, who has a ton of episodes getting you set for championship week, getting you set for March Madness. AB, we went like an hour the other night, and that's also a crew exclusive. Never too late to watch.
Never too late to watch. Indeed. It's in your feeds there. And everyone that is a premium member, I also want you to see at the top, all right, of our YouTube page, we have built you a tab for everything that you need as a premium member. Wes Taylor, welcome right there to the family, and you will see it. So you will have that in your feeds. You will have everything that we have ever done. Just perfectly aligned right there for you. And also, they're bringing up Coastal Carolina. I tell you what, I offered up my apologies to the baseball karma gods that I'm sorry, we will always ride the Chanticleers because we've learned our lesson. They are on Auto Tail.
I feel like you had a very emotional evening last night, AB. I
We
feel
did.
like you had like a come to Jesus with a lot of people last night.
Yeah, well, you know what? I had to come to Jesus with myself. And that's the most important thing that you have to do because, you know what? Let the folks down there with not riding Coastal Carolina and Florida State. We've been doing it all year long. But the last thing I'll say is this. Texas A&M for us. A perfect season so far. Have not lost. We rode them last night. They walked it off in the bottom of the ninth again. So Aggies, there we go. That's how we do it.
I saw that post on the X that put me to sleep very, very nicely after I got to play golf with my incredible son yesterday as well. All right, it is now time because it is Wednesday. That means it's hump day, and we're all set for the biggest week in college basketball outside of March Madness, for the biggest week on the PGA Tour. We've got Champions League. We've got it all right here, so it's time for the picks. And our boys are back. The man from the dirty, Charles is here. Raphael, as always, is here. Now, Charles, real quick, yesterday, VAR, it's not our friend, sir. It's not our friend.
Always my worst enemy, Coach. Always my worst enemy. They have to do something to beat us, so, you know.
I know. Well, we get it back today. That's a beautiful part about the Champions League. Raphael, I know you are our resident numbers guy. Kind of give people at home an idea of what Vegas and the books and all these numbers places go through on the busiest week of the basketball calendar.
I remember back 25 years ago, I'm aging myself right now. This was a quiet week, just conference tournaments. I mean, not that much action coming in now these days. Conference tournaments, especially in Vegas, because all the conference tournaments are there. It's like another added week of March Madness before the tournament starts. So the betting action now becoming on conference tournaments, it's much, I say the handle could be almost equal to March Madness just because March Madness is a lot of college kids spending their mom's money, $20 parlays, $30 parlays. Now conference tournaments is when the sharps are coming in, fading the Kansases, fading the number one seeds, as we talked on our show with Schwab. I think now the big money comes in. Not that much big money comes in March Madness because we're getting a lot of college kid $20 spending their mom and dad's money on March Madness week.
Wow, I'm getting a little PTSD. You're taking me back to my college days. I swear to God, they built a brand new dog track in Wichita, Kansas. This is a true story. And me and my buddies went up there the very first night. I won $1,600 on some parlay and whatever it was. I stopped by my parents' house on the way home to give them money to put to the bank. Lesson learned. Gave them $1,600. How much do you think the deposit was when I got it? Because this is before the internet. The deposit was $400. I called home. Mom and Dad, what happened? Oh, well, we just bought you tires for your car about 3 weeks ago that cost $1,000. We decided to pay ourselves back with that cash.
Yeah, they hit you on that tax right there.
Yeah. They weren't happy about me going to the dog track. Not at all. Not at all. I said, where's the $200?
Hey, Coach, real quick, and not to interrupt you, but Glenn brings up an excellent point, and I ran into the same thing, and I didn't know. Sometimes you think you're the only one, right? Last night, ESPN posted the wrong score, all right, for Bryant. They posted 76-70. The actual score is 77-70, and everyone lost by the hook. It was insanely brutal, man. Insanely brutal. And look, websites, especially as large as ESPN.com, my God, I couldn't imagine having to webmaster that thing. But
wow,
yeah,
True.
Brutal.
Well, I'll counteract that one. When I worked in many books, when we post scores, you have to do 2 or 3 confirmation scores before you post a score. So if someone posted it because they saw it on ESPN, someone's getting written up right now because you need double confirmation or even triple confirmation before a sports book can post a score.
But it didn't change anything, right? It was 5.5, so they wrote 76-70 instead of 77-70, right? So it's not a fireable. Right? Or am I missing?
No, I don't think they got fired. I mean, I did it. My first week at Caesar's Palace in 1997. I posted Cal Santa Barbara when I was supposed to post Cal's Bakersville score. So I've done it, and I got yelled at. Oof, it was but they were watching the Eagles-Cowboy game, and we needed the Cowboys, and the Eagles were winning. So the bosses were mad at the game on TV, not mad at me, but they took it out on me.
Oh, gosh. Raphael, I will never yell at you. I promise. I will never yell at you. By the way, Barely Mental says, my son is playing my money on basketball. He better be watching DTL. You're damn right, Barely Mental. You're damn right. All right, let's get to our picks today. And this is going to be a bounce back Wednesday for us. I feel it in my gut. I feel it in my bones. So, Raphael, I'm going to start with you. Let's start with your one college play today. We're going to bounce around just a little bit. So I encourage you to have your paper and have your pencils handy. Raphael, you're up first.
I'm going to SEC. I'm going with Georgia, laying a soft number at was it 3.5 right now, or 3? Some books moved it to 3.5. I guess they looked at my cheat sheet early before we came on the air. I just don't like this Missouri team. This Missouri team has trouble scoring. Missouri's 9-22 against the spread all season long. They don't play well at home or away from home. They're 2-10. They've lost, I think, 8 games on a row by double digits. I don't like this Mizzou team at all. Give me Georgia -3, -3.5. If it goes to 4, I would say maybe question mark on that one, but I would say 3.5 is the safe bet.
I still get a little bit confused when I see these matchups and you talk about it being an SEC matchup. Still doesn't feel like one to me. Still doesn't feel like one to me.
I agree.
By the way, in the chat,
wait till Texas and Oklahoma join.
Right? That's going to be so incredibly weird. So incredibly weird. By the way, can you guys write a good job, producer man, in the chat? How good do I sound today? He fixed it all for me because I was losing my mind yesterday. I
Soccer clap.
Producer man, always behind the scenes. Thank you, producer man.
Dude, hey, he crushed it. And let me say, if producer man's so much better than I am, because if it were like back in the day a year ago and it were you and I, we would have been up till 4 a.m, not fixed it at all. And then we would have somehow like smashed your laptop. It would have been a disaster. So yeah, producer man killing it.
Somehow smashed our lap. We absolutely would have smashed these laptops and somehow expensed them for $850. Not that I've ever done that. Now, Howie Schwab, even as you guys know from dialysis, is still smashing winners. So, AB, I want your reaction to this. He loves Virginia Tech -3.5, -110. And we talked about it on the Crew exclusive show on Monday night that TCU could be kind of a hidden treasure a little bit, -2.5. What do you make of these two plays?
I like it. I like the TCU right there. And we'll speak on the other one here in a little bit. But, Virginia Tech, that's a tough one. I don't have a huge opinion because it could go either way, but I like TCU here. And Raphael, I throw it over to you because I believe that spread is moving in TCU's favor kind of as we speak. So I like the Horned Frogs here. I think that they're an excellent play. If you can get it 2.5, 3, do it.
Yeah, there's some 3s out there left, but mostly 3.5. This one will probably end up around 4. It's a 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know what the odds makers are doing right now. They're moving it right now. Hopefully they can get Oklahoma money because people think Oklahoma basketball more than TCU basketball, so they're trying to probably get that dog money to come in late. But this one will probably close around 3.5, 4. I don't see it going any higher. The total is what's making my screen go Christmas right now. Tons of green all over. The total is getting bet under as we speak right now.
Okay. God, Raphael, you're such a great addition to the show, man. I mean, I don't even know how you find it all, but damn it, I'm glad that you're here. I am glad that you are here. All right. I told you we're going to bounce around a little bit today because there's tons of college basketball. There's a lot of NBA, but also there's very important soccer. And we never want to make the man from the dirty sit there for too long. So I need a little Dortmund PSV to wash over my veins right now because we're tied on the aggregate. Because that's what the cool kids say, tied on the aggregate. So, Charles, if you don't mind, I need to talk Dortmund PSV. You're up.
Yeah, the yellow wall will be rocking for this winner-take-all event. Dortmund welcomed the Dutchmen, having only dropped 1 match in their last 12 in all comps, while the BVB have scored 2 or more team goals in 3 straight at home, with their matches averaging 3.5 total goals at Signal Iduna Park. PSV, they land in Germany, riding their own impressive streaks, losing 1 game in their last 28 in all competitions and averaging 2.16 goals on the road. I expect a replay of the Barcelona and Napoli fixture with both teams pushing for goals and having clinical finishers on both ends. So we'll go ahead and take the over 1.25 first half. That way, if it lands on 1, you do get half your wager back. But this one definitely has that 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 1-to-2 type feel. Over 3 full-time goals, and PSV first half team total of over 0.5, as I definitely expect the Eredivisie side to get on the board in the first half.
I absolutely love all three of those. Shout out to John, our newest crew member just now. Welcome. You're going to have a ton of extra content at your fingertips every single day. So thank you for that. Let's go back to college basketball right now because your boy is jumping into the deep end today. And Raphael, I'm going BYU -6.5. It's kind of been all over the place. -120. Now it's down to -5.5. So it's been moving. But the reason I like this is because teams are not used at this time of the year to playing back-to-back days. UCF played last night against Oklahoma State. They won, but they got to come right back and play a top 20 team that won at Allen Fieldhouse. And this arena, we used to call it when I worked in Kansas City, Allen Fieldhouse East, because it's only 45 minutes from KU. BYU is a sneaky good team. Do you think this one will move any more than what it already has?
Yeah, I think BYU money will come, and BYU gets a lot of action, even though they're the happy Mormons with the bicycle helmets, but they get a lot of action bet on them all the time. They're the only team that run the picket fence probably in college basketball. But yeah, money will come in all day on BYU, and if they get red hot in three-point land, they can get a double-digit victory easily and be a hard out in the conference tournament and in the main tournament that starts next week. But yeah, BYU going to get a lot of – wouldn't be shocked me. They're probably top 5 tickets written today, BYU.
Interesting.
The picket fence.
I love the picket fence. I'll make it.
Jimmy Chipwood.
If you know, you know. By the way, can we listen to Manzi Man, please? He goes, DTL crew, 215 watching live and only 53 likes. That should be something you do every single day. You come in, hit the like button, and then you start talking. You guys know the drill. Don't make me take something away from you. Now, AB. You and Raphael are all over this UCLA game. I'm coming to you. Why do you believe that in this particular game, the last Pac-12 tournament as we know it, we'll see points tonight?
Yeah, it means something to both of these teams. This is the final, Pac-12 tournament that I guess that we're ever going to see in life. But you know what? We've seen these two teams play before twice already this season. They've hit the over. They've really had no problem hitting the over. And we've got a nice low total here sitting at 126.5. And we should see, similarly to what we saw from Georgia Tech Notre Dame yesterday, right? We played the over of 134.5, and that hit by 30-something points. It was quite nice, right? I'm not expecting that high of a cover there on the total, but 126.5, very nice for what should be a good back-and-forth affair. And again, remember, blowouts lead to unders. Close games lead to overs.
So with that being said, Raphael, let me come to you because Howie likes UCLA -6.5 tonight, -110. So we've got the over and we have UCLA. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think UCLA has owned them. AB said it. They played twice at home. They usually beat them 71-63, an 8-point win. Total was, the over-under was 126.5 on this one. Total has 3 different numbers, AB, so hopefully you shopped around. It's 126, 126, and 127 out there. MGM has 126.5 right now. But yeah, I just think UCLA has won 8 out of the last 10 meetings. They're probably playing better defense than Oregon State on this one, but I think UCLA has no problem scoring. They probably hit the 70 mark today. Junky free throws will probably push this total over. So, yeah, I'd like UCLA 6.5. I wouldn't touch it if it goes 7, but I don't think the betting public will move this to 7. Wouldn't shock me if we see a solid 6 by tip-off.
I think it's an appropriate time after listening to Charles, Raphael, AB for the last 3 to 5 minutes that I ask you one very simple question. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Now, Brendan, who is a crew member in the chat, says Kings, Lakers total. I love it, Big Cheesy. I actually, Brendan, loved it too. However, I didn't play it. I almost did, but I like that too. I'm going to go with the Lakers on the money line, -130, and here's why. They're 3-1 in the last 4, and I know the Kings just beat them a couple weeks ago. I get that, but the Kings played last night. They cashed the team total over for Raphael. They got to come right back tonight and play a team that hasn't played since Sunday. And in the NBA, that's an eternity. So I'm going to take the Lakers and the fresh legs, and I'm going to throw the points out, and I'll take the money line at -130. Raphael, why do you like the Mavericks tonight?
I just think the Mavericks, their offense is just too potent right now. No Curry tonight. Again, he's probably going to miss probably 2 more games, is what I heard late last night. Dallas is a scary team in the West. Not many people are talking about Luka's probably going to put up another triple-double right now. I just think with the missing of Curry, this one will move. I think the betting public will probably move this one. We'll probably see a lot of points scored in this one. I just think the Mavericks have a better bench. The big guys will have no problem against Golden State, who will be missing one of their key guys. Give me the Mavericks all day long on this one. They've won 6 out of their last 10 meetings on this one, and I just like the way the Mavericks have been playing as of late.
Yeah, I agree with you. Scott says Luka triple-double is automatic right now.
Hey, you know who started that? Monday, Zaslow. Yep. He was all over it, cashed in on Luka triple-double. 1,000%. Scott's right.
Plus 175.
Did you guys see that he got put back in the game in that blowout to try to get the 30-point triple-double record? Sometimes people take offense to that sometimes.
Also, real quick, whenever you say Big Cheesy, it reminds me of the start of every Young Jeezy song when he's like, Young Jeezy. So.
Charles, are you a rap fan? You seem like a rap guy to me.
I know my way around.
Great answer.
I'll bet you do. So we're coming right back to you right now. We've got another game. Again, 4 p.m. Eastern today instead of the normal 3 p.m. Eastern start. Why? I have no idea, but it's live on Paramount+. Atletico and Inter Milan. Inter leads 1-0 on the aggregate. Charles, talk to me.
Yeah, the second match on the card should be more contested, but still has all the makings of a great watch. Atletico Madrid will be forced to push for the equalizer after taking a more defensive approach in leg one. Luckily, Atleti has been better at home, scoring in 19 of their 20 at the Metropolitano Stadium in all comps. Plus, they are expected to get Antoine Griezmann back from injury to help lead the line. Inter Milan has been on a roll this season, unbeaten in their last 15 in all competitions, while scoring in 16 straight and all of their 17 away matches this campaign. But the Italians are winless in their last 10 trips to Spain. So based on this matchup, I see both teams scoring over the course of 90-plus minutes and the over 2.25 goals, as we tend to see higher scoring results in these second legs.
You really got to pay attention. Listen to Charles. It's the second leg. I hate betting the first leg of Champions League, but this is where the rubber meets the road, and you got to figure it out. Somebody moves on, somebody goes home, and there are tens of millions of dollars on the line for these Champions League matchups the farther you get. AB, go.
Yeah, I know that, food is a nice, side topic here. Speaking of legs there, I did go to KFC last night for dinner and got the 3-piece leg. All right, fire. Spicy chicken is good. The problem, they don't give enough biscuits. You've got to give me more than one biscuit. So just wanted to put that out there, KFC. We could step that part up. The leg part brought me that. Apologies. Right back to you, sir.
No, that's very important to point out because sometimes they don't put the honey in the thing either, and you can't have the biscuits without the honey. Popeyes right now is running a 2 for $1 special on extra biscuits, by the way. I may or may not have gotten that 2 nights ago. So I feel you. All right, so I've got one more thing to get to, and then we'll get to our educate and entertain. We've got a lot to talk about there today. Today's a full show, an absolutely full show. So you guys know the Players' Championship starts tomorrow. If you haven't watched DTL Golf yet, it's live in your feed right now, me, RD, Steve, and Fast Eddie. And I got 3 big plays today that I'm going with. Harris English over minus 130 over Chris Kirk. Now, these are tournament matchups, the full tournament, 4 rounds. Justin Thomas over Victor Hovland. I saw somebody in the chat said, no bueno, JT was awful on Sunday. Well, guess what? That was a really, really hard golf course, Joey Blaze. And he played well up until that point. At one point, he was tied for 3rd on Sunday, made a couple of bogeys late. He's won this event before. Victor Hovland is really struggling this year so far. So give me a motivated JT over Hovland, who just changed coaches yet again. And then my third one, easiest one on the board, Shane Lowry plus 100 over Colin Morikawa. Morikawa shot an 80 on Sunday in the final round. That's an 8-0. Shane Lowry has been in the final group the last 2 weeks. On Sunday, the first 2 legs of the Florida swing, Shane Lowry was in position to win both Sundays. So I'll take him even money over Colin Morikawa. Then, and give us our 4th shot here, producer man. I thought we'd do something fun, AB, Raphael, and Charles. I thought the 4 of us would come together on a play. And it's us against them, meaning everybody in the chat, everybody at home, all the crew members. And here's what it's going to be. If you go to DraftKings right now, there is a bet that you can make. It's the big three: Scheffler, McIlroy, Xander Schauffele against the field. Now, we're going to make a post on our Twitter page or X page right after the show. You've got to go there. You've got to respond to it. And it's very, very simple. To let us know that you're in. We just need to know that you're in. Also, you have to follow us, of course. And then if we lose this bet, then we're going to give 3 people who do that a Driving the Line t-shirt fresh off the presses. So it's us against the field. Charles, what do you make of Scheffler, McIlroy, and Xander? I know this is right up your alley, sir.
You can't go wrong with Scheffler. I do know that.
See, he does know that. The number 1 player in the world, the defending champion. So it's us.
Look at Howie.
What's that?
I said, look at Howie. He said, go with the field.
Oh, Howie, always going against us. That's okay. That's all right. Again, on our X page, we'll have that up right after the show. All right, it's time to drop Charles off just for a second because we got a little bit to talk about. It's time to educate, entertain. I love that music. And AB, I got to start with you because it finally happened yesterday. Indeed, it did. Your boy, jet flying out of Nashville, Tennessee, landing in Baltimore Metro. 2 years, $16 million. It could be up to $20 million. But now the Baltimore Ravens have a bona fide stud at running back to go along with the reigning MVP. Your thoughts on Derrick Henry to the Ravens?
So first off, what we absolutely have to do, pay our respects to the king, Derrick Henry. Thank you. Well done for everything that you did in Nashville. The respect is with you because you handled yourself like a professional every step of the way, especially the last 2 years. And Ravens, this is what you're going to get. They ran Derrick Henry into the ground the last 2 years with no offensive line, and everyone knew that Derrick Henry was getting the ball. And you know what he did? He didn't complain a single damn second about it. He went out and did his job like a professional, and that is what you are going to get in Derrick Henry. He is a leader. There is gas well left in that tank. Do not worry about that. He will be the hardest working person in your locker room. I assure you of that. Right now, he'll probably lift more than everyone else on your team as well, linemen included, but he's a fantastic dude. He's everything that you want as a teammate, and he's going to make that team better. Here's the fascinating part, Coach. So Derrick Henry, even when he was right in the middle of his prime with Tennessee, was a 2-down, 3-down back. He doesn't play on 3rd down because his pass pro, right, when you're in a pass setting, his pass protection is not good. So that's the fascinating part, is that you have him as a 1st down, 2nd down running back, and they have other options there too. So pay attention to that one. But, dude, Derrick Henry, Ravens, great signing. It made all the sense in the world. Raphael said it on the show yesterday before it happened, that the Ravens were the most likely, landing spot, and it's a perfect fit, man. So just pay attention to that 1st and 2nd down, though, because he will not play on 3rd downs.
That's a really, really good point. And Raphael, as I come over to you, the sports books, AB said it great from a football perspective. From a betting perspective, the sports books now have elevated, and the Ravens are the favorite in the AFC North. And remarkably, they're the 3rd favorite to win the whole thing now after yesterday. Do you agree?
Henry's not, and why that's that the money came in now that they're favorites. Because let's face it, a running back's not going to change betting odds to win a Super Bowl. The only one that really changed odds was Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons. But money coming in is the reason why we changed those numbers coming out. A lot of small tickets came in on Baltimore. They should win a division, but don't forget, Cincinnati's probably going to be healthy, even though they lost a whole bunch. Mixing being gone, Higgins wants to trade. Pittsburgh, I think, upgraded their roster to be a little bit more. But yes, Baltimore's all in. Getting Henry and signing some of their players and stuff like that. If they have a really good draft, they're going to be all in. And I think this is they might finally maybe make it to a Super Bowl. I don't know about winning it, but they might make one.
Well, in
Here-
the
Coach,
chat,
here's-
yes.
Did not mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to follow this really, really quick. Derrick Henry, this is what to watch because now defenses are going to have a nightmare decision to make trying to stop the run in the red zone between Henry, Lamar Jackson, right? Other options. Remember this, and we hit this future last year, and we'll play it again. Derrick Henry 1+ touchdown pass throughout the season. He does it every single year. The guy can throw, and he's done it year after year after year after year. Play that prop when it comes out because I guarantee you they will use that. He's got a nice little 5-yard missile on him, dude. Like they're going to be a nightmare in the red zone, man. Nightmare.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very creative. There's no doubt about that. Joey, by the way, says he'll also probably lead the league in touchdowns. That could be the case too. But Barely Mental says Baltimore still has a gauntlet to run. Well, Gus Edwards is gone. He went to the Chargers, and J.K. Dobbins, he went down in game 1 last year against the Texans. Remember this? The torn ACL in the very first, or Achilles, against the Texans. To me, as a running back, that's the hardest injury to come back from is an Achilles injury. So I think both of those guys, Gus Edwards signed away. I don't think they would bring Dobbins back at this point. So they got to put somebody behind Derrick Henry. We'll see who that's going to be. Now, gentlemen, did you see this story? It's starting to get juicy in New York City. So there's a little show called The Pivots, Ryan Clark and some of his buddies, and they have, different athletes on, different people on. And a couple of weeks ago, Mecole Hardman, who dropped every single pass that he was thrown to this year by Patrick Mahomes, drove me insane. And he went on there and he started talking about the Jets, his old team, how they're dysfunctional, started insulting all of them. Well, Sauce Gardner, one of the best defensive backs in the entire NFL, went on the same show yesterday and said this.
We always around each other. We always in the locker room having fun. We always in the meetings. We always talking to each other after practice. But the reason he couldn't do that is because he never earned his stripes. He came in the facility and just thought he had it made for him. Like, if you know what it takes to win.
If you know what it takes to win, you're not going to drop punts. You're not going to get yelled at in special teams meetings. You're not going to get cussed out by the special teams coordinator. He went on and on and on and on. Raphael, we're starting to see this now. It's becoming a pattern of guys going at each other in the media. It's not something we normally see. What do you make of it?
I always believe the guy that has the proof in the pudding, and he had the proof in the pudding on there saying, hey, he wasn't all in. He came in thinking I was just going to come in and be the star, or my name means more than your name. He had the proof in the pudding, and I like what we're seeing, guys calling out people, say, hey, you know what, he's not at meetings, or he's late, or he's not in. We invite him to dinners and he doesn't show and stuff like that. I like that because that tells you what kind of teammate you're going to get. That's why a lot of people have Caleb Williams as a question mark coming in number 1, because a lot of stats coming out with their offensive linemen. So I love the proof in the pudding finally coming out with people that are looking for new teams or leaving teams.
It does seem like AB, because this is really kind of the only league when you're talking about salary caps and so much. Oh, Saquon going to the Eagles. Hey, it's $12 million. He's got to take care of his family. And this is the NFL. But now we're seeing this type of stuff could keep certain players from going to certain teams. No?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, and if you're knowingly in the wrong and your play kind of reflected it, what are you doing even talking? That'd be like Kadarius Toney calling out, Larry Fitzgerald, like, hey, your hands of stone. You're like, dude, you've dropped every pass in life. What are you talking about? It's just, man, it's funny, hearing it. I'm glad that we do hear it, though. It'll probably get curtailed quickly because I'm sure that coaches and organizations are like, easy, fellas, easy. But I do like it, especially as Raphael said, when somebody has the receipts on that one. Also, my man, I like that chain. I need to get that chain, although I think that might be a little bit above my pay grade. But that thing was heavy. I like it.
That does scream AB to me when I see that big drip. As last time I talked to Ric Flair, he's talking about drips. And I don't even know what that kind of stuff is, but he's with the, And
hey,
then,
real quick, can I tell a very quick story?
Of course.
In Nashville, this is a true story. Everyone in the crew. 2 years ago, all right, it was Ric Flair's last match in Nashville, okay?
Yep.
So I hadn't talked to Coach at all about it. Me, good buddy of mine, Steve. We're going to see it. Just normal, nothing, special. Just ticket. Here you go. Come on in. Talking to Coach Text, right, while we're waiting outside of Municipal Auditorium in Nashville. And Coach was like, hey, what are you up to, man? And I was like, hey, go to see this Ric Flair thing. He goes, why didn't you call me? I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, you'd be over there with Ric Flair right now. I was like, Coach, this is why you're the man, bro.
I wish you would have, but that's all right. That's all right. You had a good time.
You
had a good time. All good. All good. Speaking of respect, apparently, and this is the last story we're going to hit on today, and leave it to Raphael to find odds on this ridiculous topic. RFK Jr., and we are not a political show. We will never be a political show, but he plans to run for president on an independent ticket. And this became headline news on Tuesday. Guess who the favorite is to be his running mate as the vice president of the United States of America? Raphael, could you please drop that knowledge on us, sir?
Put him as the favorite just because the money will come. Well, the money will be flooded.
Sorry, you're on mute. I didn't hear the name. If you could start over.
Aaron Rodgers is minus 110. He's a favorite right now. And that's because the money is going to continue to be flooded in on that. Jesse Ventura plus 110. But I'll give you a name, the sneaky one out there that I think he'll announce. Bring back the Yang gang, Andrew Yang at 25-1. I think he will probably be the announced one. Not Rodgers, not Ventura, not Marina Williamson at 14-1. I think the Yang gang, they've been buddy already. They've done some stuff already together, so wouldn't be shocked. Kanye West, I know someone in our chat chain said give me the 33-1 on Kanye West on that one, but maybe Charlie Sheen at 200-1. I'll take some Charlie Sheen.
Did you say Charlie Sheen is 200-1 to run with RFK Jr.?
Yeah, why not?
We just legitimately had a 60 seconds serious topic on this. AB, your thoughts?
Yeah. All right. So anybody that knows me knows I am an idiot, and especially with politics, I don't know anything about it. But what I do know is that I am begging for a vice president that also plays in the NFL that has to take Sundays off, right? Because they're playing a game. And like, well, we got this big meeting with Yemen here later on today. It's like, dude, we got the Raiders. What are you talking about, man? Like, so yeah, I definitely need that. I guess that means that Jimmy Kimmel would be on the opposite side because that's their rival. So instead of like the Jets, Bills, it's going to open things up tremendously. I'm sure that the Jets are fascinatingly in love with this too. I'm sure that they love this publicity.
Right. Can you imagine Hard Knocks if they go with the Jets again and all of a sudden they've got security around the building because he gets Secret Service because he's somebody said Charlie Sheen will fit right in.
Here's the question. So let's say Aaron Rodgers is the vice president. Okay. Number one, what if the Jets win the Super Bowl? Do they just go to Aaron Rodgers' house? Like, is that how it works?
They wouldn't have to go anywhere.
They wouldn't
have to go anywhere. By the way, Big Cheesy says if The Rock becomes president, Coach's name drops number would skyrocket. Hey,
dude,
don't worry, Big Cheesy. I will still have plenty of time to remind the world that you lost to me in the Super Bowl and that we put together a nice little package for you. Don't worry. All those name drops won't affect that at all. At all.
We would have other countries. First off, we would be using that to broadcast live, from the White House there in the Situation Room. And then number two, they're like, why is the president of Libya asking about Coastal Carolina this weekend?
Now, Joey says something that we can all get behind. He says, I don't care who. Just legalize sports betting and weed nationwide, and I support it. Issues over people. Joey, now somebody's getting it. Oh, my God. Aaron Rodgers for vice president.
Yeah,
Raphael, thank you for doing homework on that.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this. I used to work with Aaron's brother there, and let me just say, I guess the White House doesn't have to worry about getting any clearances for his family to become visiting. I can assure you that one.
Well, I probably shouldn't tell this story, but I will since you brought up his brother. I did a little segment on a little show you may have heard of called Sports Center. If few years ago when he was on The Bachelorette. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I did a little segment with Mina Kimes, who's tremendous. She does NFL Live now, all that. And so at the end, when he won, I did a segment and I said, listen, this was a win-win because he went on the show. Then the day after he won, he got hired by ESPN. I just thought the timing was coincidental. And I just said it was a win-win. I was being positive.
Yeah.
He didn't
Let me
like
say
it
this
very
too.
much.
Let me
He
say this
didn't
too.
like it very much.
Well, I'll say this. Dude is an awesome guy. And like in terms
Yep.
of like reality shows and all that, like most of it is all contrived, made up. That one is not. Him and JoJo,
No.
like fantastic, dude. Like, yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
I like him. He just didn't like what I said. So, and that's fair. Not everybody has to like everybody, but he's doing a great job. He's at the SEC network now, but I love that season. I love that season. Oh, I like that section today of Educate and Entertain. All right, it's time to wrap things up. Let's do the whip around. All right, this is the section for everybody that was unable to drop in at the top of the show because we know you every now and then. You got things that are going on. We give you our picks in 10 seconds or less. Raphael, start with your two, please.
Georgia -3 over Mizzou. Easy win for that one. And give me the Dallas Mavericks -7.5. I think Luka triple-double and the rest of the Mavs team rout Golden State tonight.
100% love how Luka is playing. Excuse me. Howie loves Virginia Tech -3.5, -110. TCU in the Big 12 tournament -2.5. That over Oklahoma. And UCLA -6.5, -110 playing Oregon State. Charles, rip through your five, please.
Champions League, Dortmund versus PSV, over 1.25 first half, over 3 full-time goals in PSV. First half team total over 0.5. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, both teams to score, and over 2.25 full-time goals.
Boom, boom, and boom. My five, I love BYU in the Big 12 tournament today over UCF, laying the 6.5. UCF played last night. Lakers money line -130. Sorry, Big Cheesy. I like them in Sacktown tonight. The beam will not be lit. Then 3 tournament plays from the Players' Championship. Also, go and watch DTL Golf. Harris English -130 over Chris Kirk. He plays well in big events and on tough golf courses. Justin Thomas -110 over Victor Hovland. He's won here before. He is trending in the right direction. And Shane Lowry +100 over Colin Morikawa. The last 2 Sundays, Shane Lowry has been in the final group. The last 2 Sundays of the last 2 events, he is absolutely trending up. AB, bring us home.
We're going to go to Oregon State, UCLA, over 126.5. Really strong, nice play. Should be in their third time. Hit the over for a third time. It'll be nice. And also in the chat, they asked about college baseball today. No picks for today because there's just really not that great slate of games to choose from. So we're going to lay off, but we are going to speak this week about these midweek games because there are some things to discuss and things to know. So none today, nothing great out there. Stick to basketball.
The easiest thing to do is follow my guys on social media. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel because we have everything segmented. So easy to find. AB does such a phenomenal job with that page. Charles, Raphael, as always, great job today, gentlemen. We will see you tomorrow. It's time now for the closing bell. An absolutely full show today. Howie, thank you for being in the chat and answering all those questions as we really get into the championship week. All the big conferences, AB, are getting going today. Keenan says, AB can unite the world with all your college baseball. So many, it just moves so fast with his college picks. Keenan, new crew member, that's exactly what we're talking about right there. That's the kind of energy that we need here at DTL. We also, AB, need a little bounce back energy. What did the crew go with today as their play?
We do need a little bounce back. And you know what? That's what we want to do. We just want to bring everybody together. And the crew is going to Austin, Texas, taking the Longhorns there, -4.5. Low number in the Big 12 tournament. So going with the hook 'em horns. That's what they're rolling with. Texas, Lego.
David, you just hit my heart in the chat. Coach for president, AB for VP. That's how you drop the mic on a show on a Wednesday. By the way, for all you crew members, you get an extra segment, more picks. For those of you who simply want more, those will be posted in the next 45 minutes or so. Also, taping our next episode of Behind the Turnbuckle today. That will drop on Friday. And then also we'll post our schedule for night live streams, DTL After Dark, for March Madness and all that good stuff. So we've got a lot going on here today, so be patient with us as we get everything out there for you. But with all that being said, what a good show today. It is now time for you to go out into the world, pay it forward, be kind to one another, and share the show. We are growing every single day, all because of you. And remember this, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. Right attacker level. The man from the dirty, Charles. Raphael. No number is too big for him. My 5-tool player and partner, AB. And never forget about producer man behind the scenes, always making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern time right here on Driving the Line. Good luck.